Have you ever stood in front of a giant waterfall and wondered, how can something this powerful also be a source of electricity, a shipping route, and a worldwide tourist magnet, all at the same time? Welcome to Niagara Falls, a place where nature's raw power meets human engineering genius. Niagara Falls isn't just a breathtaking waterfall, it's a massive system of water, rock, machines, tunnels, and technology working together. The falls drop more than 50 meters, carrying over 2,800 cubic meters of water every second, making it one of the most powerful waterfalls on Earth. More than 10 million people visit every year just to see its endless sheets of water and clouds of mist. But behind the beauty lies one of the most fascinating engineering regions in the world. Let's understand the setting. The Niagara River connects Lake Erie in the south to Lake Ontario in the north. Right in the middle of this river, the water plunges over the Niagara Escarpment, forming three waterfalls: the American Falls, the Bridal Veil Falls, and the massive Horseshoe Falls on the Canadian side where most of the river flows. But this natural wonder once created a big problem. The falls were a solid barrier to ships trying to move between the upper Great Lakes and the Atlantic Ocean. Goods like iron ore, coal, and grain had to be unloaded and carried around the falls. To solve this, engineers built the Welland Canal in 1829. It bypasses the falls entirely and uses 8 huge locks to raise and lower ships between the two lakes. Today, massive cargo ships, personal boats, freshwater lakers, and ocean-going salties all pass through this engineering marvel. Now, here's where Niagara becomes even more impressive. The combination of high water flow and a huge natural drop makes this the perfect place for generating electricity. That's why in 1895, the world's first major AC hydroelectric station opened here, powered by Nikola Tesla's technology. From just 40 megawatts back then, the region now produces over 4,000 megawatts, enough to power millions of homes. But no, they don't just put turbines at the bottom of the falls. Instead, up to 75% of the river's water is secretly diverted before it reaches the edge. It flows through massive underground tunnels to power stations on both the US and Canadian sides, like the Robert Moses plant and the Adam Beck stations. After spinning turbines, the water is released back into the lower river. But here's the clever part. The amount of water you see going over the falls is actually controlled. During the daytime tourist hours, more water is allowed to flow naturally to preserve the beauty. At night and in winter, extra water is diverted into power tunnels. This balance is managed by the International Control Dam, which doesn't store water like typical dams. It simply fine-tunes the river's flow. Still, there's one big challenge. Tourists want full waterfalls during the day, and people also need the most electricity during the day. So both countries built pumped storage systems. At night, when electricity demand is low, they pump water uphill into reservoirs. During the day, that water is released to generate extra power. It's like charging a giant natural battery. And yes, Niagara Falls has been stopped once. In 1969, engineers built a temporary dam to dry out the American Falls so they could study the pile of rocks at the bottom. After months of study, they decided to leave it natural and let the water flow again. Since then, the falls have never been completely stopped. Even erosion is part of the story. Without water diversion, Niagara Falls would slowly move upstream at about 3 feet per year. But thanks to hydroelectric systems reducing flow, erosion has slowed to just about 1 foot per year, helping preserve the falls for future generations. So what is Niagara Falls really? It's not just a waterfall. It's a perfect combination of nature and engineering, a place where you'll find a massive canal with 8 locks, underground hydro tunnels and giant turbines, pumped water reservoirs like hidden batteries, flow control dams shared by 2 nations, and one of the most famous natural wonders on Earth. Thanks for watching. If you gained some knowledge, then like, subscribe, and share with your friends.